Hello guys, welcome back to Kids Coding Playground channel. Today we'll be working on our final tutorial of the Bubble Tea Maker game. We hope you have learned something new from this tutorial series and are excited to see the final result. If you have enjoyed our video, please consider subscribing to our channel, give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Your support means a lot to us and we appreciate it greatly. Thanks for being part of our coding community. Alright, so without further ado, let's go into our last tutorial. So here's what we have left off from last time. So we have some code for the cat. So if you want to miss anything, please pause and just copy the code down. Alright, so I'll quickly go over each of the sprite. So with the cat, this is the customer. This is the tapioca scoop, tapioca pearl, the cup, the teapot, teacup. So the teacup is a little bit longer, so I think at the very end we have to put the straw on, so this is where we're going to start. And then we have the tea, the syrup bottle, the syrup, and that's about it. So we're going to be coding on the straw and the icon and the ring, and then the backdrop, you guys already know we have the sound for the ring. Okay, alright, so let's get on to our code. Okay, so we go to the straw. So you remember the teacup, we have put the straw on, that's where we left off. So we're gonna start here. Okay, so when green flag is clicked, okay, here we'll switch to costume number 1. So custom number 1 is the straw that's coming down like this with the sharp edge, sharp pointer here, sharp tip, I guess. And then we're gonna say hi. And then when we get the message, put the straw on, this is where we're going to switch to custom 1 also, just to reset the thing. When we go from one customer to another, we're gonna put it at this location. I think I had it earlier, 0 and -25. And then since we have high, we have to add show, and then we have a repeat loop here. So we're gonna say repeat until touching the teacup. So that's why the straws come down and then poke through the little plastic film for the straw. So we're gonna say change the y by -5. So that will come down. Okay, and then we're gonna put the pop sound. And then we can repeat 7 times. And then we use the next costume. And then we'll do a little bit of wait. Okay, so, and then the final costume of the 7 loop, we should be at the costume number 8, which is the last one. So we start at 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So after that, we're gonna say broadcast a message. So a new message, say give drink to customer. So this will give the drink to the customer. So when we do the give drink to the customer, what we're going to do is we're gonna have to make the straw follow the cup and also make the cup glide to the straw. So we're gonna say when I receive give drink to the customer, I'm gonna have a forever loop here, and then in this forever loop we'll use the X and Y position, and then we have to use this tricky block in the sensing here. So here you have to select the teacup, and then you can select the X position, then you select the teacup again, we'll select the Y position, but we're not gonna exactly the same position because we want the little straw to be a bit higher. So we can use the operator add. So we're gonna add 10 to that, and this is the position. So basically we're gonna go when they give cup to the customer, we'll make the straw follow the cup while the cup is gliding to the customer. Okay, so after that we're gonna have to go back to the cup. So teacup will actually give, when we receive gift to customer, we're gonna send the cup back to the customer. So we're gonna say when we receive give drink to customer, we're gonna glide 1 second. I have the 40 and 0. So basically you can just move the cup kind of wherever you want, like somewhere right here, like you see that. This is 55, right? So I put 40 and 0. So somewhere like along this line here, right? So somewhere here like that. So when it goes from here, it goes here. Okay, and then we will do change the customer counter by 1. So this is what we're going to use, like to count how many customers we have left, and we also can use it to change the icon. And then next we'll say wait 1 second, and then we're gonna broadcast a new message called customer walk away. So after the customer get the tea, they'll walk away. We have to hide the straw, okay, and hide the cup as well. So we have to we have this also. So this is hiding the cup. So we'll have to go back to the straw. So the straw, we're gonna have to hide the straw as well. But before we do that, we have to stop this loop because we have the forever loop here. So we're gonna say when I receive customer walk away, I'm gonna stop the script. So we're gonna say stop other script in the sprite, and then we're gonna hide the straw. Alright, so basically after the straw comes to the customer, a straw comes to the cup, we'll give it to the customer, and then it will go away. Alright, so let's just try it again. So we're gonna have to put the cup back at the cup position. Okay, I'm gonna try this out. So now we have this. So where we have put the straw on, right? So the cup, do this little shake and put the straw on. So we can just click on this. So to test, so you can see the cup get the shake, and then we broadcast a message, and the straw goes in, and the straw and the cup glide to the customer, and it hide. So what we have to do is we have to go to the customer and make the customer actually glides away when he gets the drinks, so that it can be have like the next customer comes in. So what we can do is go to the customer, and here we have the when we get the customer walks away, right? So here we say, hey, when I receive customer walk away, I'm gonna make it kind of glide toward the end here. So we have motion, say glide 2 seconds to 225. So 200 is probably somewhere around this area. After that, I'm going to high, and I'm gonna broadcast a new message. So after the customer leaves, he's gonna broadcast a new message called start again. So start again. So start again will actually help to have the new customer come in again. So when we have start again in this customer, we have to add some code. So here we can add when I receive start again. So for the start again, we'll just kind of wait 1 second, and then we change it to the next costume, which is the next customer. And then we're gonna have a if condition here. Here I'm gonna check the number of costumes. So basically I have 5 customers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if my costume is greater than 1, then I'm going to custom number greater than 1. So after that, I am going to say move customer. So for the start again, we have after the next costume, the number will be 1, right? So the first one is going to be 1, the second one will be 2. So once it's greater than 1, which is 2, they're going to move customer will actually do the go to back layer, and then the customer start gliding back in. Okay. All right. So we have the customer, we have the straw, right? And what we need to do next is we are going to work on the icon. So that when we give it to the customer, the icon will light up. Okay. But before we go to do that, let's finish the cat. So the cat, where we had the start again, we can also have make that change here. So when I receive start again, so here what we're going to do is we're going to use a if and else condition. Here I'm going to check, use a not operator. Okay, and then we have the customer counter, so we're going to try to use that. So we're going to say equal, and then customer counter equal to 5. So number 5 will be the last customer. So if it's not equal to 5, we're going to say next for 1 second. So that he'll call the customer. And we're gonna change the I missed something. I'll come back to this. So we'll change the costume to 1, which is the standing costume, and also we want to change the color of the the next string. So we're gonna say change color by 50. Okay. So if it's the last customer, so we're gonna say good job, whatever you like to say, good job making bubble tea for all the customers. Okay, so we're gonna say, hey, good job making bubble tea for all the customer, and then you can stop the game here after that. I'm gonna say stop all. So I think I forgot one thing here. So one of the things I forgot was that I forgot to change the costume for the cat. So when we give drink to the customer, I want him to raise his hand. So I'm gonna add that right now. So when I say give drink to customer, I'm gonna say switch the costume to give, and want to say here you go. Okay, and we'll do it for 1 second, whatever. Okay, so this will give to the customer, and and then after that, when it starts again, it will say next. It's gonna change the color of the drinks. And then when we go back, you can see that in the customer, after start again, it's gonna call move customer. So when move customer will run, it will broadcast start, so it will start over the game. So let's just play it for a minute to make sure everything is good before we work on the actual icon. Okay, so we have the first customer comes in, and we have the cup. We're gonna add the bubble. Let's add the tea. Okay, add the syrup. And then it shakes the cup. Okay, so alright. And after that, the straw comes in. So you can see it says give it to the customer. Customer walks away, he raises his hand. It says next, and then the next customer comes in. So as you can see, it seems to be working fine, right? So, yep, so this is the next color. So since I added the color, right? So the cat, I say change the color by 50. So after that, it gives a different color. So change the color for that. And then I put the straw and give it to the customer, and you can see that it will be the next customer. So you can see it gives the cat, see, raise his hand, and then it has next, it starts again, it calls the next customer. And the T will be different color each time. So last time was green, and we increased by 50. So change color is a different number now, is 100. So you can see change color is 100. So you see it's a blue color. Okay. Alright, so this is pretty much good. So the only problem we had right now is just the icon. So we'll work on the icon next. Okay. So for the icon, we are going to create the icon on the top. Okay, so we'll go. So the icon is actually exactly the same as the bubble tea cup. So what we're going to do is just gonna make it smaller. That's it. We're gonna say when green flag is clicked, we are going to make it high. Okay, and then we're gonna set the customer counter. So here we'll change the customer counter to 0. So this is where we can reset the customer counter each time. And then we're gonna create. So also the icon should have an index. I think I already created that earlier. So the icon, make sure you create for the sprite only. So you're making a variable for index. Make sure you select this and type in index right there for the sprite only. Okay. Since I already created, I don't need it. So icon index, okay, for the sprite only. Gonna set the index to 0, and I'm gonna make him go to, gonna start at -2, 15, and 150. Okay, and since I have 5 customers, I'm gonna repeat 5 times. Here I'm gonna change index each time when we create one icon. So I'm gonna say change index by 1. Okay, and then since it starts at 1 in Scratch, so the first one, what I want to do is I'm gonna check if we're gonna use an if and else here, and then we are going to use the operator called equal, and we're gonna use the index. So if the index is 1. So let me hide this one now, we don't need that. So when the index is 1, I'm gonna set it at this area, so my icon will show up like somewhere around here. Okay, so if it's indexed at 1, I'm gonna make this set x to -215, which is what we had started. And after that, we're gonna change x by 40. So every time after I create one, it will change x by 40. It will create the next block here, next one, next one, next one, and until we have all 5 icons. Okay, and then we have to call this, say, create a clone of myself under here. Okay. Okay, so when you have this create my clone, you have to do this one, start as a clone. What I'm going to do is going to set the ghost effect. Set the ghost effect to 50, so it's kind of transparent, not very clear, or not very like you can see it real well. And then once I go to front layer, and then we'll say show. And then here, what we can do is we can use the code here. If condition, so where we're going to use the index, so we're going to duplicate here. So if the index is 1, we are going to say wait until the operator equal, and then we have the customer counter, right? So every time the customer, we gave 1 to the customer, we increase the counter. That's where the cat then either somewhere then in the customer. So it is actually here in the teacup. So if we give the drink to customer, increase the counter by 1, right? Okay. So That's why it is. So when we wait until the customer counter equal to 1, and then we're gonna set the ghost effect. So set the ghost effect to 0. Okay, so we'll clear up, so we'll see it. So same thing, we're gonna do this, duplicate this like this. We're gonna say the index is 2. We'll wait for the customer to be 2. Gonna set the ghost effect. So the next 3. So this index is keeping track of the icon each time, and this will wait until the customer counter goes to 3, then we'll light them up. So we're gonna show it like clear. So this is 4 and 4, and then last one 5 and 5. Okay, so we have all the icons. So let's test it out real quick. So if you see, I start the game, it created 5 icons. You can see 5 icons started at 215, negative 215, and then it add 40 each time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, since we're 5 in the loop. Okay, so let's just finish one. So we're not gonna do multiple because it will take too much time. So once this fills up, right? So right now, if you see my customer counter is still at 0, right? So when my customer counter becomes 1, it will light this guy up. So now we're gonna give it to him. So you can see it light up, right? So these guys are still, I mean, these little cups are still kind of faded, right? Transparent 50%. So once the customer counter goes to 2, this guy will light up because this is the waiting condition here, right? So this is index 2, so this is the second index of this bubble tea cup icon here. So he's waiting the customer counter to be 2. Right now customer counter is still 1. So once we give this, we'll increase the counter in the teacup here. You see this? Customer counter becomes 2, so this one lights up. Okay, so I hope you guys understand that. So I think we're almost done. So the last part is just the rain effect for the game. And I think you guys also did that last time. I think on the, I think you might have seen the project earlier. I think we made one simple tutorial for the rain effect. So in the rain effect, I'm gonna switch the costume to the first costume. Okay, so I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what I'm going to do is just loop through it 6 times. So here, what we have is we start for the first costume, and we're gonna say set the Y at 0, and then we have the forever, and then we say set X, and we can pick a random negative 240 to positive 240, and then we have a repeat loop 6 times, and then we have next costume, and then at the very end we're gonna switch it back to the first costume. Okay, alright, so let's try it out again. So you can see the raindrop kind of like just hitting on the table. You can see it kind of if you look at it closely. So here, if you want to make it go higher, you can change the X, and if you want to make go higher, you change the X to like, let's say 100, right? So you can see that it's going to be higher up. So we run this again, you can see the rain kind of stop like right here. You see that? If you want it to be lower, you know, you can put like -1, -50 or something. So if you run this, you can see the rain drop all the way down to the bottom. So for me, I have it at 0. So what is actually is look like it dropped on the table. So you can see it kind of dropped on the table. Okay, so you can adjust this however you want. Okay, so that is pretty much the end of the game. I can hide this one again. So I think that is everything. So we have for the game. should work everything. If it doesn't work, please make a comment on the video. We can try to help you, or you can go to the project itself and just check out the project, see if you miss any code. So I have shared the project already, so the project should be on the video link as well. Okay, all right, thanks guys. See you guys next time. Bye bye.